Okay. Alright, so this is the quick demo of the Abacus floor controller built by Rhodes Amplification. I'm going to be very quick about just basic functions. I'm not going to get into any of the deep editing that this thing can do. I'm just going to show how the basic patches work, how the loop buttons work, and that's pretty much going to be it. Basically the way it works, if you look across this road through here, 1 through 8, you'll see 8 buttons, obviously. Each of those buttons corresponds to an individual loop. That's my compressor, this is my auto wop thingy, this is my overdrive, which is set to a really crappy setting right now. This is my phaser, and this is my the G major 2. So it's just set to kind of a random setting there. What's really cool about the way this whole thing is set up is I could leave my pedals as they are. I could just throw in a regular overdrive pedal, a regular delay, or a regular reverb. Wouldn't have to do anything fancy, and it's still an exceptionally functional piece of equipment because, for example, I can be playing at my clean setting, which is this channel 6 right here, and then go to, for example, preset number 2, which will turn on my mode on the juicer amp and switch me to the dirty channel. So, all without hitting what would have taken 2 buttons. I just did it in 1. You know, while you're playing, that's an invaluable extra step to not have to take. So, so that's that. Another thing that it allows you to do is integrate, loops into that. So, for example, I can go from 6, which is my clean, to 1, which is my clean with my overdrive on it. And back. I could even go to, for example, I could go to channel 2, which is my overdrive, and I could throw my clean on top of that, or my dirty on top of that. So I could program that in there if I wanted to do something like this. So anyway, that's kind of the gist of how it works. It's pretty simple once you start messing with it on just basic controls of turning pedals on and off. One thing that's particularly cool about the way this works is it allows me to basically run any MIDI programmable device as well. For example, the G major runs off MIDI commands. The Nova drive, which is the overdrive pedal that I've been using, also will respond to MIDI controls, which is definitely a cool thing to be able to do. What's really nice is it's just very easy to set up. You tell what program you want, you tell it what channel the device is listening for, and that's pretty much it. You can use an expression pedal to control individual presets and individual knobs and stuff. It's really simple. For example, if you take a look, patch number 6 here is my clean, but if I turn on my overdrive, it's set to just some random thing that I threw together, which unfortunately sounds like crap, but I just turned some knobs and programmed it. But it's really noisy and just... Anyway, so that's set to patch number 9 on the Nova drive. If I go back to number 1, it automatically switches it to patch number 2, which is just kind of a nice sounding setting there. So there's 9 and 2. So that's kind of a neat feature that it has kind of built into it. You can also program it to change without actually turning the loop on. So let's say I wanted it to be at 3, but when I turned on the overdrive, it would kick on at that point, and I could hear the difference. It also will control, for example, the G major. Right now, if I were to turn on the G major on my clean channel, for example, kind of a little vibe setting here. But if I switch it to patch number 4, for example, switches it to a stereo delay. So it's very simple to use. You just plug it in and start turning knobs, and it works pretty much right out of the box. If you want to do deep editing and you're like me, sorry, that was my chair. If you want to do deep editing and you're like me and you just enjoy being able to really tweak your sounds and having, you know, on-the-fly access to a lot of different settings, it's a fantastic device to have. There'll be, you know, new features integrated to it, you know, as time goes on. The tap tempo and things like that. The program's still being written to get those set up, but I'd be able to control tap tempo on different devices, including analog devices that have a like a 1/4 inch external input. Like, for example, my Echolution delay pedal will respond to a contact closure tap tempo, and this will give it that command that it's looking for. So I definitely suggest you go to www.rhodesamplification.com and take a look at this system, see what Kyle can do for you. I promise you, there's not an idea crazier than some of the things that I've come up with and asked him to do. So just tell him what you want, and he can make it happen. I know I sound like I might be, you know, overhyping him a little bit, but there's honestly not a crazy idea that I've come up with that he hasn't been able to do. So I strongly recommend you send him an email, look him up on Facebook, however you want to find him, and see what he can do for you.